Hey there, it's Jonathan from Style Factory here, the go-to site for web design and e-commerce advice. In this Squarespace versus WordPress comparison, I'm going to help you find out which of these two leading web design tools is the best fit for you. Stay tuned to the end for some great resources and discounts for Squarespace and WordPress too. Right, let's dive in. The first thing that you need to know about the Squarespace versus WordPress debate is that there are technically two versions of WordPress available: hosted WordPress and self-hosted WordPress. Hosted WordPress, available at wordpress.com, is in many ways quite similar to Squarespace. It's a pay-as-you-go solution that gives you a content management system, web hosting, and various tools to help you run a website or online store. Self-hosted WordPress, which you can download from wordpress.org, is a free content management system that you install on your own server. This means that to use it, you'll need to buy some hosting and configure it to work with WordPress. Now, in this comparison, I'm mainly going to compare Squarespace to the self-hosted version of WordPress. The aim behind this is to allow you to compare an all-in-one pay-monthly solution to an open-source platform that is technically more powerful but requires more hands-on configuration and maintenance. With that out of the way, I'm going to spell out the key advantages of using Squarespace over WordPress and the key reasons to use WordPress instead. Let's start with the arguments for using Squarespace. 1. Squarespace lets you build a website more quickly. With Squarespace, everything you need to build a website is provided as part of your subscription. And this means you can get your site live really quickly. The features you get out of the box in Squarespace include a content management system, e-commerce tools, data capture forms, membership sites, appointment scheduling, and much more. All these features are extremely useful and let you hit the ground running. But to build a site in self-hosted WordPress, you'll need to buy some hosting, install the WordPress software on it, and add various plugins to gain the features you need. 2. Squarespace is easier to use. To get the very most out of hosted WordPress, you often need some web development skills, and its content management system is much less intuitive than Squarespace's fluid engine drag-and-drop interface. In short, Squarespace can be used by complete web design novices. Its all-in-one nature means that there is nothing to code and less to configure. Overall, you face a gentler learning curve in Squarespace than in WordPress. 3. It's easier to keep a Squarespace site secure. With self-hosted WordPress, the responsibility for the security of your website largely rests with you. Unless you stay fully on top of software, theme and plugin updates, your site can become vulnerable to being hacked. And if you're selling products with WordPress, you also have to make sure that your chosen e-commerce plugin handles credit card transactions securely and is fully PCI compliant. But with Squarespace, you don't have to worry about any of this. All the Squarespace security updates happen in the background, and the platform handles PCI compliance for you too. 4. Squarespace comes with built-in email marketing features. Squarespace doesn't just let you build a website, it gives you access to easy-to-use email marketing features that let you grow a mailing list and send newsletters to it. With self-hosted WordPress, you'll always need to use a third-party email marketing solution and configure it to work with the platform. 5. Squarespace lets you sell online more easily. Squarespace's e-commerce features represent a particularly nice aspect of the platform. They're built in and extremely easy to use. Even if you're entirely new to the world of e-commerce, you'll be able to use them to start selling quickly. With WordPress, however, to get selling online, you'll always need to install an e-commerce plugin, WooCommerce being the most popular choice. Although this is powerful, using it involves more configuration time and a steeper learning curve than you'll encounter from Squarespace's selling tools. 6. You get customer support from Squarespace. When you subscribe to Squarespace, you get 24/7 customer support included with it. You can contact the company easily via live chat or email. But if you build a self-hosted WordPress website, there's no obvious or official source of support. You may find yourself having to source help from several different locations. For example, WordPress forums, a hosting company, or a plugin provider. Accordingly, a lot of people running WordPress sites take out support contracts with development agencies, and doing so can be expensive. Right, so those are the main reasons to use Squarespace over WordPress. Next, I'm going to take a look at the ways in which WordPress can be the better choice. But before I do that, I just want to say that if you're interested in using either Squarespace or WordPress, do check out the video description where you'll find links to both. You'll also find details on how to make a significant saving on a Squarespace account. And if you've got any questions about anything I've covered so far, do drop them in the comments. We'll do our best to help. Okay, let's look now at the areas where WordPress beats Squarespace. 1. You can build any sort of site with WordPress. Although Squarespace is a reasonably flexible tool, it takes much more of a walled garden approach to web design than WordPress, and this can limit its suitability for certain web design projects, especially large-scale or enterprise ones. But so long as you or your developer have the technical skills to do so, you can build pretty much anything with WordPress. So, if you need bespoke features for your website, you'll often find that WordPress is a better option for you. 2. There are a lot more themes available for WordPress. Although Squarespace themes look great, they are a bit limited in number. At the moment, there are 186 available. By contrast, there are over 13,000 themes currently available from the WordPress.org official theme store, both free and paid for. This more extensive range gives you a lot more say over the appearance of your website. 3. A huge range of plugins is available for WordPress. And lots of them are free. This means that the sky is the limit when it comes to adding bespoke functionality and new features to a WordPress site. Although Squarespace also lets you enhance its platform's functionality via a range of apps called Squarespace extensions, there are currently only a small number of these available. 4. WordPress is much better for blogging with. WordPress comes with much more sophisticated blogging features than Squarespace. With WordPress, you get autosave tools, a revision history, and powerful content categorization features. These are all unavailable from Squarespace. So, if you plan to make content marketing a key part of generating traffic to your site or intend to run a serious online publication, WordPress is usually the better choice. 5. WordPress is a more scalable solution. Squarespace is a great solution for solopreneurs and small businesses. It lets you create functional, attractive websites or online stores cheaply and easily. However, if you have ambitions to scale your business, WordPress is nearly always the better choice. This is because WordPress is much better for creating multi-currency, multi-regional, or multilingual websites. Squarespace doesn't facilitate selling in more than one currency at once, and its multilingual capabilities rely on an expensive third-party service called Weglot. 6. You can attain a better technical SEO setup in WordPress. So long as you configure everything correctly, you can end up with a better technical SEO setup on WordPress than on Squarespace. If you use superfast hosting, build a lightweight custom theme, and code your site correctly, you can end up with a WordPress site that meets Google's standards for technical SEO better than a Squarespace one. Although the technical SEO setup in Squarespace is pretty good, you simply don't have the same degree of flexibility over proceedings as you do in WordPress. Okay, so those are the key reasons to use WordPress over Squarespace. Let's wrap things up with a quick summary of when each of these platforms is the better choice. If you're just starting out in web design, it's nearly always better to go with Squarespace. It's much better than self-hosted WordPress for getting a simple but elegant website or online store live quickly. And the bundled support will ensure that you can access help with your project too. However, if you want a more scalable solution, WordPress wins. It's better for selling or publishing internationally, and with developer support, it lets you create truly enterprise-grade websites. It's also a much stronger blogging solution. If you're interested in trying either platform out, you'll find links to the Squarespace free trial and the WordPress free download in the description for this video. There's also a special Squarespace discount code available in the description too. For more great tips on web design, e-commerce and SEO, do remember to subscribe to our channel and click the notifications bell. And finally, there are lots more pros and cons of Squarespace and WordPress to discover, so you might also like to check out our detailed blog post comparing the two platforms. To find this, just Google Style Factory Squarespace versus WordPress. We also have an in-depth Squarespace review available on the Style Factory site. Just Google Style Factory Squarespace review to find this. And finally, if you have any questions about either platform, do leave a comment. We read them all and will do our best to help.